First, though, there are now calls for a police investigation into the conduct of a Tim Hortons franchise owner from Fernie. As we told you exclusively last night, the owner is being accused of stealing money from some employees, temporary workers from the Philippines.
Now, the province's Employment Standards Branch is investigating at least one complaint already. Val Brach has the latest.
We just want the threatening and bullying to stop.
Heidi Kibanoff and her boyfriend Richard Pepito say they've been bullied, harassed and intimidated by Pierre Pelletier, their former boss at Tim Hortons in Fernie. They say they've been pressured by former co-workers to drop the complaint with the Employment Standards Branch. Kibanoff says Pelletier would drive her and other employees to the bank to cash overtime checks. Once cashed, they say Pelletier would take the money from them. Kibanoff says she listened to her boss because he was offering her permanent employment through the provincial nominee program, a fast track to permanent residency in Canada. CBC News has interviewed nearly half a dozen employees with a similar story at the Tim Hortons in Fernie. We're protecting their identity because they're afraid they'll lose their jobs and be sent back to the Philippines.
They're coming to Canada under our program. And if employers are abusing them, the least we can do is say, you can stay, you can work here, we obviously need you. You're good enough to work here, you should be good enough to live here, then you should be allowed to stay.
The BC Federation of Labour is now calling on the RCMP to step in.
So we'll be approaching the RCMP and saying, please go in and investigate this, and if you find wage theft, order the company to pay or charge them.
Pelletier hasn't returned our calls for an interview. The mayor of Fernie says he's well known in the community.
Whenever there's any events and he's asked, they are the first ones to deliver food to all of the events. So the community knows them as very generous, giving people.
A hearing for the Employment Standards Branch investigation is set for February. The workers are also preparing to file a complaint with the Human Rights Tribunal. Val Brach, CBC News, Vancouver.